Yeah, what's going on, boys and girls? This is Jelly Dell, and you are back in the studio, back in the lab, which means it must be time for another episode of the next show. So let's get it cracking. So on this one, I'm just going to go over what I fudged up on my week 6 picks. Go back and rewind like I had to a little bit just to make sure. Yeah, and then looking forward to what's coming up in week 7 and just going over my picks for those games, who's going to win and why I think that's going to be. So all that coming up, and maybe I'll touch on a bit on NHL free agency. Which is still going on as we speak. They're targeting New Year's Day. And then, actually, speaking of start dates, NBA actually said that they're looking around January 18th or so to start up their season. So that should be exciting. If it's in a similar bubble fashion, I guess they released the numbers. They made about 1.5 billion with a B during the NBA playoff bubble. So it was like 180 million to put together, and then generated 1.5 billion. So wow, that's a big number. I mean, there's still a lot of significant losses, obviously from the stoppage. Fan interaction, ticket sales, concessions, sponsorship deals, merchandise, all that stuff. But a lot of people are realizing that they can just get their stuff online as far as the merchandising is concerned. But yeah, man, nothing beats going to a live game for sure. So now, in terms of last week, what I fudged up on, I'll just go over it real quick here. So, in terms of the picks that I had, let's see, the first fudge up, I had the Jags at home and they lost to the Lions 34-16. I guess Gardner Minshew is not always money at home. Falcons, they put up a 40 piece on the Vikings on the road. So good on the Falcons. Definitely did not see that coming. I thought, Kirk Cousins was going to bounce back, but no, still fudging up. And then where's the next one? Oh, yeah, Broncos steal a game at New England. I thought Belichick had enough time to prepare, but I guess not with Cam because he had to isolate himself or whatever because he had the virus and even looking like he was coming back. I don't know. Looks like the virus may be affecting him still because he looked like straight garb. Packers at the Bucks. I had Packers in this one, but the tight end play between Gronk and Brady way too much for the Packers defense. It's something that teams have been able to exploit all year for Green Bay. So yeah, man, and it happened again on the road in Tampa, where Tom Brady's feeling more and more comfortable as the starting quarterback there. So you know shouldn't doubted Brady at home, but it is what it is, man. Rodgers was rolling coming in, and anything can happen on any given Sunday. And then last blunder had the Rams on the road against the Niners. Apparently, they weren't that hobbled because George Kittle and Jimmy G started and played for San Fran, and apparently that's all they needed in that game to put up points. So, yeah, there you have it. Now, looking at the NFL big board for Week 7, let's see. First game on the board is the Steelers at the Titans. This is a battle of two super heavyweights, and it's going to be a freaking awesome game to watch. It's going to be smash mouth football all the way. A couple of well coached teams, and super um, tight point defense. In terms of like man coverage and being physical and playing the man. So, but I think that is exactly the type of game that's built for Derrick Henry. Even if they are going to try and stop the run, I think the guy is just so powerful, man, that he's just willing to just run over anybody on his way to the end zone. So, and the fact that Titans are at home, they're coming off huge wins over all of their opponents. Like whether it's comeback wins, grind it out through the air, on the ground with Henry. Tannehill has actually been a very steady presence at quarterback for them, and that's why he got himself paid. So good on him, and I expect him to win this one. It's going to be a close game, but I think Derrick Henry is gonna go off. I think easily I could see him going for 100, 150 yards in this one for sure. For sure. They're going to try and clog up the run so much, going to be so focused on that they're going to end up giving up this man a lot of yards. So, yeah, man, for that reason, and they're at home, I'm going to take the Titans for sure to go 6-0. Next one, the Dallas Cowboys at the team formerly known as the Redskins, now known as the Washington Football Team. Honestly, in this one, Dallas has just been just so terrible and just so distraught, especially after what happened to Dak Prescott with a broken ankle and everything. So in this one, man, I don't know if they're going to bounce back for the rest of the year. Honestly, I'm really inclined to take the team formerly known as the Redskins. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to take the team formerly known as Redskins, see if they pull it out. They shocked the world in Week 1 against the Eagles, and I think in this one they'll want to play spoiler again and maybe get themselves on top of the NFC least division, perhaps. We'll see. Next game, Bills at Jets. Adam Gase is just straight trash as long as he's as coach of New York Football Jets. They will continue to lose games. I will keep saying this over and over and over until he's finally can. Bills in a laugher, I expect. Next game, Panthers at the Saints. I think the Saints. Michael Thomas is, if he's not going to be back for this game, he's very close, and that's lifting the spirits of that team. So I think for sure, and they're at home where they play particularly well. Saints, man, Saints. Panthers haven't really shown anything to me that to make them a legitimate contender for anything, let alone beating the Saints at home. Next game, Packers at Texans. This one's very simple, okay? Rodgers is going to be pissed that he got blown out by Tom Brady on the road. And Texans are a straight garb tire fire. They got their first win, hooray, but they're still 1-5, still garb. Rodgers, money on the road. I expect them to win easy. Next game, the Browns at the Bengals. Baker Mayfield, he's been taking a lot of heat for losing to the Steelers ugly and getting pulled from the game as a safety precaution. But yeah, man, just looked like straight trash. But I expect them to have a good game plan. The Bengals aren't exactly, world beaters either, even though they're going to be at home. So Browns, man, take the Browns. Next game, Lions at the Falcons. Man, you know what? The Falcons put up 40 on the road, man, and Matt Ryan's clicking a little bit with Julio Jones again. So I think they have the ability now to put up some points here and get some wins. I mean, the Lions, they're 2-3, man. They're nothing special. They only have one more victory than the Falcons, man. So you know what, man? I'm gonna take the Falcons, man, at home. I think they finally got their act together as far as the offense is concerned. They're at home where they like to play particularly well, even though lately, with the opponents and the coaching staff and whatever, the disgruntlement issues, yada yada yada. But I think, with the change in management now and a fresh start for everybody, I think all that's changed. And I think, putting up a 40 spot on the road is not easy against any NFL team because there's so much parity now. Everybody's, really good outside of, basically Kansas City, Baltimore, and I don't know, LA, I guess, Bucks, whoever's running the table. But yeah, I mean, I think the Falcons can do it, man. They got the ship righted. I think they're gonna get it. They're gonna get it. I'm gonna take the Falcons, man, at home. Next game, the Bucks at the Las Vegas Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders. So yeah, man, Bucks, yo. Tom Brady, he's gonna come in there, man. Familiar confines, Oakland. He's played enough times. The Tuck rule, yada yada yada. We all get that. We know that. So he played extremely well, exploiting that tight end, defensive game or lack thereof that Green Bay seems to be exhibiting, and it led to putting up 38 points on the board, and holding an explosive offense of Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers to only 10 points. So, yeah, man, I think the Bucks are kind of hitting their stride now. They're 4-2. They're just getting better every game, and I don't expect the Raiders to do much, man. So, I know it's John Gruden is going to be extra motivated to coach and get a win against his former team, but it's not going to be enough, man. When you have Tom Brady, you know what I mean, and records of weapons, it's all good, man. Take Tampa. All right, next game, Jags at Chargers. I think Herbert can I just say that Justin Herbert is like the real deal? He continues to get better every game, just like Joe Burrow. He's going to be one of the next great young quarterbacks, and I hope to get one of his signature rookie cards. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. But yeah, anyways, I look for him to do big things. They're at home. Gardner Minshew flopped at home last week, and I thought he was money there. Now he's on the road. Nah, man. I think he's not going to do well, and I think the Chargers are going to take that victory. Next game, the 49ers at the Patriots. Okay, so yeah, just same old story, man. It's going to be the Garoppolo, George Kittle show and that defense. The Patriots, man, they're looking like straight garb. I don't care if they're at home because they just lost at home the last game to Denver, who's a more lowly, weaker opponent. So what now? What now that you got actual competition coming in the form of San Francisco, who just who's 2 years removed from a Super Bowl appearance. So good luck, Patriot Nation, because you're going to need it in this one. Take the Niners, man. Next game, Chiefs at Broncos. Chiefs are unstoppable. They're unbeatable for the most part, and I don't care if it's at Mile High. This is a rivalry game. They've dealt with it before. They know how to deal with it. Pat Mahomes, yada yada yada. Take the Chiefs. Next game, the Seahawks and Cardinals. It's a rivalry game, and the Cardinals actually they got a pretty good record. They got a 4-2 record. They're in the mix for that division there. But Seahawks too much, man, too much. You're talking about Russell Wilson, Hall of Fame quarterback already. You're talking about DK Metcalf, who's a friggin' beast of a wide receiver. Talking about Lockett, Corey Lockett, another beast of a receiver who just like seems to catch everything, man. And the running backs, man, the running back group, like the, with Pete Carroll coaching, like now I see why my boy Jakey loves these Seahawks so much, man, because they are just so well coached and they scout well, they draft well, they manage well. Everything is just done extremely well, and it's all tailored to the best of what Russell Wilson can do. So. With all that said, man, Seahawks going to take it, man. It's going to be a close one because the Cards are going to want to put up a fight in this one, being a rivalry game and everything. But ultimately, the Seahawks are just going to prove to be too much, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I think it's going to be a close game, but the defense is going to come up big. I see, maybe one or two turnovers happening in this game. So Seahawks for sure, I would take them. And then the Monday nighter, you got the Bears, who came off a big win actually last week. That was a big win for the Bears. And they're going on the road to play the LA Rams, who lost on the road to the 49ers. And I thought they were going to win that game. So who knows what's going to happen this time around. The Bears defense playing lights out. And, as far as Nick Foles goes, he's playing okay, but I think he's just continuing to feel out this team. He just got traded from Jacksonville or whatever. He's becoming quite the journeyman here. But I think he definitely has what it takes to be a fringe starter for a few games, kind of like a bridge guy, like a Fitzpatrick type of guy. You know what I mean? But he's got the ring to prove that he's got the intangibles too, that he can be somewhat of a leader of men. And he can get it. He can get it done. Throwing the football too. But it's gonna be a tough one, man. He's gonna go into LA. It's gonna be a pressure to win. But they are 5-1. They could be coming in there playing loose. I mean, Monday Night Football, a lot of pressure in LA. I mean, this is a tough one to call, man. But I think because it's Monday Night Football and because it's in LA, I want to take the Rams, man, at home. I know the Bears are 5-1, and I've always picked the Bears, and they've always helped me out. They've helped me out, man. They're 5-1. You know what I'm saying? So you got to pick the Bears a lot. You got to pick the Bears 5 out of 6 times so far this year. The Bears have been good to me, but I just think that Monday night it's in LA. You know, Lakers won the title, man. They're gonna be LA's gonna be extra motivated with the loss to San Francisco, a rival. They know they got to play catch up now in the standings. I think there's going to be a lot of motivation for the Rams in this one. And I think that they're going to win it, man. McVay is still, a genius coach. He's proving it because they have 4 wins to their 2 losses. They're not 0-6 like Adam Gase, like that retard. But nevertheless, in this game, I think they're gonna pull it out, man, for sure. I think I'm gonna take the Rams. I'm gonna take the Rams. Final answer. That's what's gonna be. So there it is, guys. Those are my picks for Week 7. Stay tuned and see what happens. I look forward to it this weekend, and also the afternoon matchup on Fight Island. Khabib versus Justin Gaethje. That should be a freaking awesome matchup. I love in the press conference when Gaethje was like, he chucks the belt that he has now. He's like, no, 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 I'll take it. I don't want this one. I want that one. I want the one that he's wearing. Khabib standing right next to him. That was awesome, man. So I like that. I thought that was a nice little touch without having to trash talk too much. But we'll see what happens, man. We'll see if you can back it up, and you guys will definitely hear from me. But what happens and what I think happens and yada yada. So yeah, man, Gaethje and Khabib should be good. Should be a good one, and whatever other fights take place on Fight Island that night, we'll see what happens. And yeah, the only other thing I wanted to touch on before I let you guys go here on the program is an article where the one and only Joe Thornton comes out and he tells the media about his intention to sign with the Leafs, and I think the quote was that he signed with them because he thinks that they're ready to win now. They're ready to win now. And I mean, my only take with that was like, what? So ready? What do you mean ready to win now? Like what? Like this upcoming season now? Because I mean, they've been looking like shit for the last few years, man. So straight up in the chats and everything, and the YouTube chats and whatnot. I'm just like, man, like why? That's a weird thing to come out and say. I know you got to be like all in support of the team that signed you and all that, even though you took 750K. But man, like ready to? What do you mean ready to? Ready? I know they had a few nice additions or whatever, with free agency, but no, man, they're not. No, no. You're gonna have to go through a much improved Philly team. You're gonna have to go through Tampa. You're gonna have to go through Boston. You're gonna have to go through Washington. Like there's a lot of teams in the East you're gonna have to go through. Columbus again, and the Leafs are still not built to take out those teams. You got your $40 million cap players forwards playing soft, man, straight up. So whatever, you bring in a few great guys or whatever for free agency, but those great guys aren't going to put up 60, 70, 80 points to get you into a playoff position. First of all, to get into the playoffs. And then what? Once you get there, what? They might chip in a few goals, but then what if your actual stars who are supposed to score dry up in the playoffs, as has happened, as has been the case? Then what? So, I just found that to be a little bit interesting. I thought Mr. Joe Thornton being close to where I'm living here, close to London, Ontario, I thought, that he'd be the type of guy to have a little more sense than coming out and saying something like that. Just say, hey, I decided to sign here because I'm in the twilight of my career. I can't skate as fast as I used to. They offered me the kind of money that I would certainly take if I was given this money from other teams, yada yada. But you know, win now. No, man, that's not no wrong thing to say. But I thought you'd be a little bit smarter than that. All right, guys. So that's my time for now. On that note, I want to say peace out to everybody, all of you guys watching out there. And as always, I'm going to give a shout out to my wifey, Kirsten. Without her, this show would not be possible. So thank you, babe. I love you. And my little girl, my apple of my eye, my one and only Sophia. Daddy loves you so much. Hugs and kisses. I hope you're watching this out there, and I hope you guys continue to watch us out there. And stay tuned for the next episode of the next show.